obviously a lot of these players were brought in before Ruben and yourself got into the club, and do you feel like you're correcting the mistakes of previous recruitment cycles?
Well, I don't really want to sort of. We've inherited a situation which we've inherited.
It's mad, isn't it? Some of the contracts that have been given out.
There's some decisions that we clearly would not. I mean, and also if you look, it's quite interesting. If you look at the players that we will buy this summer that we did not buy, in other words, we're paying for. That's Anthony. We're buying Anthony this summer. We're buying Sancho this summer. We're buying Højlund. We're buying Casemiro. We're buying Onana.
You mean still paying for them?
Yeah, correct.
I mean, the club also.
It's not a light.
No.
It's not a light switch. In your day, if you bought a player, you bought a player, and that was it, wasn't it?
The club owe nearly £400 million, don't they, on players that are still in the club? 390 million. Is that right? That number?
Pass. I don't know the exact number. I know the bill that we will pay this summer is 89 million for players
who have been signed previously.
Previously, 89. So if we buy no players, we write a cheque for 89 million pounds. That's all. Yeah.
I mean, you mentioned Ruben's playing style before. He has got a rare playing style in terms of the system.
Yeah.
And I suppose I'm asking you the question, next summer you're going to have to recruit to that specific system. The wing-backs, the two players that play in behind Højlund or behind the centre-forward.
Yep.
The two. Are you unequivocal that you're going to make that step and back Ruben and he's going to be here at the start of next season considering the results that have happened?
Yep.
We'll get back to Sir Jim and Gary in just a quick second, but remember, if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. And don't forget to click the notification button so that you know when the next Big D video hits. And just remember, you know how this works. If something is bubbling up inside of you that you need to express, please put it in the comments. The Big D reads all of the comments and he's always interested in what's on your mind. Anyway, in this clip, it's a little small one. Again, it's from Sir Jim's exclusive interview with Gary Neville. He's going to be talking about recruitment mistakes of the past. And it's really interesting to see how the transfer system works at Manchester United. He's also going to be talking about Dan Ashworth and Ruben Amorim too. It's very interesting. Stick around for after the clip because the Big D is going to be giving his thoughts on what Sir Jim had to say. Here he is.
I'm unequivocal about that, but bear in mind, I am backing the management team. Because at the end of the day, it's Omar, it's Jason, it's the management team that operate Manchester United.
Who appointed Ruben then?
Who appointed Ruben? Omar and Jason and me.
Made that decision?
Yeah.
Looking at what happened with Dan, obviously Dan came into the club.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've worked with Dan. He headed up a transformation at the FA whilst I was there, and he's done it at other clubs.
Yeah.
What went wrong there? Because you chased him for 8 months.
Correct.
And he's done this type of job before of transformation, cultural change. Why did that not work, knowing Dan as I do?
Well, you may know Dan better than I do. I'm sure. In fact, I'm sure you do. But I don't want to go into the details of it because I don't think it serves any. It doesn't serve much purpose. I mean, at the end of the day, it was chemistry. Maybe a bit more than chemistry, but let's just say chemistry, and it didn't work. So
with you or with the other management team?
Just chemistry. And I think again, I know it's an unpopular decision, and it's seen as an error, which it was, and it was an error. But again, I think slightly in our defence, we did recognise it as being something that would not work, and therefore we decided we would make a change. What would have been far easier, because of the scrutiny that we knew that we would get in the media, would have been to live with it, but I wasn't prepared to live with it. So I think, and that has to be part of our mentality at Manchester. Even though we're having to make unpopular decisions, if we think it's the right thing, then we're going to do it.
Wow. To think before we even make one signing in the summer, we have to cut a cheque for £89 million. That is insane. That is absolutely insane. And then let's say we sell one player for 80 million, which is not going to happen. But let's just say, as a thought experiment, we did. That money that we get is just going to go to paying off the debt. It's incredible. It's incredible. But that's a predicament he finds himself in. Yeah, I mean, still paying for Anthony and still paying for Sancho. That's not a good situation, that. Not at all. And especially when you're making strange decisions like hiring and firing Dan Ashworth, and then giving Eric Ten Hag a fresh contract and then sacking him and then having to pay him 15 million or whatever it was for him to walk away. It's incredible the situation Manchester United are in. It's just been team after team after team just bleeding the club dry. It's nuts, man. It's nuts. But I understand people saying it's the Glazers' fault because they didn't know how to run a football club and they just passed it on to someone and just let them do it themselves, and they just sort of report it back to them every now and then. So I totally empathise with, you know, the fans that don't like the Glazers. I do. It's just, I mean, they've been neglectful more than anything. I don't buy the sort of greed side of things necessarily, because why would an owner want to purposefully run an asset like Manchester United into the ground? I think it's just they've just neglected the club, and they've failed to understand what it is that makes a club tick. It's just been nuts. The whole situation's a mess. I do feel sorry for Jim a little bit. Again, no, I do not. I understand the predicament that he is in. It's going to be stressful. It's going to be a pain to turn that ship around. It's going to take a little bit of time. I still say, get the recruitment right in the summer. That team starts purring, and once the team's purring, then everything else falls into place, as long as you're paying attention and you're not spending money frivolously. I'm really pleased that I got that word out. Frivolously. I thought I was going to get tongue-tied for a second there. But yeah, interesting situation. Certainly need to get some players off that wage bill. We certainly need to be making the right judgment in recruitment, not just of playing staff, but also of coaching staff too. Get that right, and then everything else falls into line. But what do you guys think? Can you believe the situation Manchester United are in financially at the moment? It's incredible. Thoughts in the comments, and the Big D will see you in the next one.